Bitcoin has hit $40,000 per coin. It's gone ballistic. I mean, literally parabolic. Here's what the Bitcoin chart looks like. We're going to look to see, I mean, the media is all over this story. We're going to look to see if our strategy from the book My Trendline Breakout Strategy is able to work and help us make money from home. Here's a disclaimer. It's required by law. As you know, we enter all trades with risk. So let's get to it. Okay, guys, let's take a look at Bitcoin. This is what the chart currently looks like, okay? Literally, this is just parabolic. It's a huge move. And that's where Bitcoin went up to 42,000. It had been down at 2,000. We're going to see quite a lot of stuff here as I just share these facets with you. Take a look at this. We talk about a bubble, and these are the stages of a bubble. This is where the smart money get in, the institutional event. Here's the public getting on board. Now, the public think, after all the hype, that this is going to go to the moon, right? I mean, are we seeing what's going on here, guys, right? I think it's going to go to the moon. And then all of a sudden, greed, delusion, it starts coming down. No, it's going to go up. It's coming back. No, it's going to go up. And then, hang on a minute. What's going on? It's going to go back up. Despair. Where they thought it was going to the moon, they got on board, and then they started denying the evidence until they've lost all their money. And oh my God, this Bitcoin is going nowhere. Wah, 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 wah. That is what happens. It happened before on Bitcoin, and the media was all over it. I mean, can you see what it says there? I mean, it's just ridiculous because this was what was going on. Even grandma is getting in on Bitcoin, right? And this paper was from years ago, I tell you. And of course, it's there for all of us to see. Look at this guy, eh? Look at this guy. I mean, what time and when was this? Well, if you look over here, he's talking about if you bought Bitcoin and it was at you can't do that now. It's 40,000 US dollars per coin. In 2010, it was 1,000. So in other words, if you put money in Bitcoin in 2010, oh good Lord, you bought 1,000 of them. Let's say it cost you £1,000, and it's gone up 40 to 40,000. Well, there's what your £1,000 worth, 40,000 now, really. If you bought, yeah, I mean, it's just gone absolutely. The same Bitcoin, if you bought 1,000 Bitcoins when Bitcoin was worth £1,000 per coin, now it's worth 40,000 per coin. Well, do the math. 40,000 times 1,000 is a lot of money. Isn't that in the millions? That has been the power of Bitcoin over the past 10 years. Is it going to stop? I mean, it's gone parabolic now, right? Is it going to stop? And here's something that they say, okay? And it's very important. Don't invest in things you don't understand. Don't invest in something just because it's gone up in the past, okay? And here, this journalist says they're all just talking out of their hat. At that time, Bitcoin was $1,000 per coin. Now, Bitcoin is at $40,000 per coin, and we're going to look into it. Look, hedge funds are jumping into the party because they realize it's a beautiful trade. There is a lot of it's in the media about it being regulated, and that was all part and parcel of the issue before. But the fact of the matter is, as we stand right now, okay, and I'm going to bring up the actual chart. and I'm going to show you how we could trade it using our strategy, My Trendline Breakout Strategy. And trend lines, you can pretty much use it on any and every chart. Let me just bring up the actual live chart for you. Okay. There you go. Here's the actual live chart. And let's just paint the picture. Okay. Boom. This peak here, Bitcoin was when it was coming to 20,000. Remember when it hit that peak? Now that peak looks like nothing right now. Oh my God, it looks like absolutely nothing. But if you bring the chart across, right, when that peak hit, people, oh my God, right? It's going to the moon. Euphoria, and just like that diagram showed, and people are like, oh, this Bitcoin, it dropped back down to 3,004, and people are like, oh, Bitcoin, it's all a fake, it's all this, it's all that, it's all the other. This, let me just point out to you guys, this is a weekly chart, W1, that's a weekly chart. So each of these segments from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here, represents 1 year in time. I'm giving you some perspective here. On the weekly chart, those segments represent a year of time. So when we see this peak here was in 2017, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years later, okay? So we got to get some perspective here with regard to time. But what do we see? Just on this chart, now as you know, we trade on this much smaller time chart, okay? Trend line broke. You just connect the fractals, right? Trend line broke and it dropped back down, okay? You can see it curling up here. So if you draw that trend line, boom, that one broke and it led to this. That trend line broke at around about the time of 2020, May 31st, 2020, okay? So we're in lockdown. Now let's just check this out. Draw a line across there. It broke up, came back down. Now, can we see any patterns there? I don't know, can we see any patterns? Maybe we can. It's just that recently I've been observing these head and shoulder patterns everywhere, right? And I don't know if that's quite, can we make a head, and that would be the neckline, wouldn't it? Or you could have a diagonal neckline. Okay. We didn't quite get this shoulder here, but oh, unless we did that as the head, that as the shoulder. Well, right, it's one of those things when trading. You got to look for a double bottom. Oh, that becomes a triple bottom in a minute. Okay. If you believed it was going up, you'd have drawn some sort of picture at the bottom here and said, hey, and start questioning, is that a crown? Is that a triple bottom? Is that something that's going to mean something? Well, sure enough, the chart said you were. So what caused all of this? Donald Trump is no longer in office, right? I'm just saying, he came into office in 2016. He would have been inaugurated in 2017, 2018, 2019. 2017, if he's 2018, 2019, 2020, 2020. So he'd have been inaugurated in around about this time here. Donald Trump comes off as Bitcoin shot up. Right, I'm just looking at it. His inauguration would have been here. Bitcoin came down. Donald Trump is leaving office, and we saw as it was going through the election, Here we know he lost the vote, which was November, right here. And Bitcoin. Now, I'm very suspect of Trump, and we're learning now he had Russian people infiltrating government finance. This is something I'm hearing on CNN. So you can hide a lot of money because it's not regulated. You can hide money in Bitcoin. Well, that is a fact, and that's why it's loved, okay? So all the sanctions they put on Iran could still do business, and it was believed, of course, money laundering and all such comes through Bitcoin. That's why there's been so much controversy about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is pretty much regulated by the people. So my question is, I'm just looking at the chart and I'm just saying, hey, Trump came into power over here. Trump's leaving office over here. And it just seems like something to do with the changeover of power in the United States somehow has had a reaction with Bitcoin. I'm just saying, I could be wrong. I'm just saying, okay? So there's point number one. Okay, so we could have been looking at, should I leave that pattern on there? Nah, let's just take it off. So there's point number one. We're going to look at a few things about this chart, and because this chart we're really looking at, can we trade it? Can we make money from home trading Bitcoin? Will it be difficult using our trendline breakout strategy? Okay, that's the question we're asking. So we've drawn trend lines. Here's where we are current now. That's on the weekly chart. We're going to drop down to the daily chart, and I'm going to take you across. Let's go back in time. See, these are called. This is a parabolic move. So as we go across, let's see if we see parabolic moves. This is a parabolic move. It just drops out off the planet. Notice it always comes back up. Here's a parabolic move. It went up, and then notice it comes back down. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take you back, and then we're going to go forward, and we're going to notice a few things here. We're looking for oh, look at this one, parabolic move. This was when it went to 20,000, and then we know it came back down. These are all but look, I showed you that newspaper clipping when Bitcoin was at 1,000. Bitcoin, hey, it was over here. At the time, that was a parabolic move. It's gone it's just screamed high, right? Look over here. This is when Bitcoin was $782 for one Bitcoin, right? If you bought one coin for 780, that one coin is now worth 40,000 or thereabouts dollars. Okay, so you just made a lot of money with one coin. If you bought 10, that's 400,000, right? You get the picture. But again, when we see parabolic move, we know what happens there. It comes back down. We're going to do the maths on this, guys. We're going to do the math. We know Bitcoin's going up. I'm not even going to dispute that now, but we're going to do the math. It was at 500. Oh my God. People thought, what's going on? $500 per coin. Oh Lord. This was a mini parabolic. It's a parabolic move. So whoa. So I mean, it was down here. It was as low as 160. Man, if you bought it at $160, you could have bought 10. It's gone up to 40,000. 40,000 times 10, 400,000. I mean, what a gift. That's a parabolic move. It pulled back up. Here's another parabolic move. Oh, this is the early stage of Bitcoin. Oh, it went up to 1,000. It'll never go nowhere. As a picture I just showed you, right? Here, we're only going back to 2013, guys. We're just looking at Bitcoin here. Look, we're going back to 2013, April. Parabolic move went up to $270, and it came back down to $55 for one Bitcoin. If you bought 20, you'd have paid $1,000. That would now pretty much, if you bought 25, you'd have paid just over $1,000. Right now, you'd be a millionaire. You'd be a millionaire just for having bought this when it was at 25. Well, I mean, let's not even go any lower than that, right? When it was at 25 bucks. Here we're seeing 15 at a point in time. It was very new here, 2013. People were talking and speculating about. Now look at it. This looks like nothing because this move was so humongous. it made that look like nothing, okay? That was parabolic. But if you take away that parabolic move, it brings you into what it looked like at this time. When 2012, Bitcoin came about, and around about 2008, 2009, okay? So around about that time, it was experiencing, boom, parabolic moves. Now this, look, $15 per Bitcoin. Nobody in their wildest dream would have ever, 40,000? No way. If you, 40,000, if you would have at this time bought 10, you could have bought 20 for $300. You could have bought 40. I mean, you're into the mid, and some people did. Some people bought tons of them when it was this price. Okay. 2012. There's one guy in particular I saw on CNBC, and that's what he was talking about. Back then, they were saying it could go up to 200,000. Ridiculous, outlandish. No, nobody wanted, but it didn't matter. It went up to 40,000. If back then you bought 25, right now that's worth £1 million. However much you paid for it then, well, actually it's worth more. If you bought 25 Bitcoins, right? Let's say you bought it here when it was 10 bucks for 25. Well, right now, 40,000 is worth, 25 times 40,000. That's £1 million. And you'd have spent £250 back then. Well, that's how the market works. So it's almost better than investing in a house. Come on, let's be serious, right? If you get in at the right time. So we move along, and here's how we're going to trade those parabolic moves. We're going to put the Fibonacci tool on there, right? I'm going to go swing low to swing high. Now, what do you notice? From the high, it makes a parabolic move. It pulls back to at least, it goes beyond the 382, but we're going to be safe. We're going to call it the 382, okay? Can we trade a Bitcoin? Because every time it goes up, when it pulls back, look what it does. It breaks the trend line, okay? It breaks the trend line. So let's go for, what are we thinking here, guys? What are we thinking? Oh my God. But notice this parabolic is parabolic, and it's even going more. So you got to be careful with parabolic that you don't get in too early, because that looks parabolic, right? That looks parabolic there. That is parabolic, right? And then it goes up even more. And then, oh my God. And then look at that. Look at that significant drop there. How could you have predicted that one? Let's just move the chart along very, very slowly. Look at this move here. I mean, that is parabolic mania. The other one we was talking about, you can't even see it. This is a humongous move. And that only took it up to 267. Okay. Let's get perspective on Bitcoin here. That only took it up to $260 valuation. Okay. And that at that time, we would all said, man, look at that move. That's got to come back down, right? And so it did. Now, we particularly look at this 382 from its high. Now, how could you have possibly traded this on the daily chart? If you drop down below, there are trades in there, but let me just give you a simple clue. An engulfing candle. The black candle's gone up, the white candle's come down. That's considered an engulfing candle. And then here, pullback, continuation. We trade it to the 382, okay? Don't worry about it, just 23, that it goes that much lower. It's not your concern. 382 is all you're really looking at. Look, that's plenty. 188 to the 382, 109. So you're doubling up on your money, right? That's going down. What goes up must come down, but when it goes down, it goes up again. We're just going to follow along, guys. We're just going to follow along. We'll take off this Fibonacci over here because we've gone parabolic again. We've gone parabolic. This is 269. We've gone for a long period of time, not a lot of activity. Then we went parabolic again to from 200 to 1,000. People are like, oh my God, that Bitcoin. Right? It's not really making headlines on the news at this point, to be honest with you guys. But 382, it pulls back again. You see that? Down to 382, up, back down twice to 382. That's it. And it even goes low, but we don't care about it going low. But we're just looking at trades in history based on what we're seeing right now. We're looking at trades in history regarding Bitcoin. We're looking at where Bitcoin came from. So it went sky high. Look, it's come all the way back down, all the way back down. That's a bit of a parabolic move there. Right? With parabolic moves, this is an education itself, guys, because we're looking at it pulling back to the 382. We're also, when it makes the move, we're looking for the engulfing candle. Pull back. 382. Okay, so in that space there, you made money. This is very, very simple stuff, guys, but you got to know your past to understand your future, right? Here has gone parabolic. You can see it's pulled back to the 382. I'm not forever going to put the fib on this, guys, because there's so many of these moves that it's going to get a bit redundant, but you can see 382 right there. 23.6, we often see it go, but we want to take profit when it's safe, when we're sure we're going to get the money in our pocket. So that's what we want to do, and that's what we focus on. And again, notice the what? Engulfing candle. The black candle up, the white candle below it. Now, we didn't get the pullback all the way up here, but let's have a look. What happens? Right? This just went straight through. So, you know, on a smaller time frame, you may have got a pullback in there. This is the daily chart, guys. I'm telling you, in each and every one of these candles, there's 24 hours. A lot of stuff happens in 24 hours. You'll see that as we move along, okay? So that pullback to the 382. Here's another parabolic move. Parabolic move is just when it shoots up too quickly. It's just not sustainable. So you can see the pattern already. These patterns repeat, okay? So parabolic move, we're looking for the engulfing candle. We're on the daily chart, so we got one there. Black candle up, white candle down. Okay, guys? Aren't you just loving the job? Loving the job. Now, I don't want the video to be too long, but I just get kind of excited when I go through this historical aspect of trading because I need to understand where I'm going when I'm taking trades, okay? Now this is, oh, there it is. This one's a huge one. Back to 382, very simple move. But again, what are we looking for? Engulfing candle. Very, very, very simple. There's a black candle up. Okay. Yeah, it's very, very simple. Back to the 382. That's gone from there. There's a wick pullback. Got that good pullback. So 1,053 to where are we? 786. 1,053. That's 25%. Okay. Now, by the way, when it goes up, in order for it to go up, it does have to break a trend line, right? The strategy is trend line breakout, right? Trend line breakout works according to your belief. So here we go, your belief. Here we go, it's gone parabolic again. Okay. Now, engulfing candle, black one up. If that doesn't make the 382, that means you made a loss on this trade. Okay. Anchor. Oh, it didn't hit the 382. You made a loss on that one, right? I would not just hold on to Bitcoin. Engulfing candle. Black candle completely engulfed by that white candle. Pull back. Oh, you made another loss. Came back to 50%. Taking partial profits always work. You know, guys, I talk about that often. You took partial profit, you made a loss, right? And it's gone even higher now. That went parabolic, pull back. And that's still on a flipping scale, isn't it? It's just not sustainable. Yeah, Bitcoin got scary. That's parabolic. You took a couple of losses and you said, holy cow, I'm not even going to worry about this thing. I'm going to leave it alone, right? Let's not ignore the fact that back here, you did break a trend line. You saw it went parabolic. What you thought was parabolic. You took a couple of trades, took some partial profits. You took a couple of losses in this one. Okay. Then we've gone parabolic again. Oh, 382, you made that one. So have a look. You made that one. Engulf. If at first you don't succeed, try again. You usually got past break even on that, but this one's a beautiful trade, and right down to the 382. So you made on this one. Oh, you made exceptionally well. Bloody hell. These are just beautiful trades. Beautiful trades. But we're trading the parabolic move. So, and the reason why we're looking at parabolic, there we go again. It came back to the trade. The reason why we're looking at parabolic moves is because right now Bitcoin is at a parabolic state. 382 traded that beautifully. Engulf, not an engulf, not an engulf. This candle here, black candle, all the way down below it. Engulf. Right. So if you just trade this sensibly using a stop loss, right? Do you get the message, guys? And the reason why I'm showing you this, here it is at 20,000. We thought it was parabolic. It came down for a few years. The election had something to do. We've just had the election now. Woo! It went up to 40,000. The media is all over it. We just saw the diagram, the euphoria, and then the denial. Well, here's the denial and all the rest of it. It's come back. Smart money got in over here. Public got in over here. They're denying. No, it's not going to go there. It's going up to 200,000 like they told me. Well, I can tell you, Bitcoin is going to come down. Oh, it's going to come down. It's down here already. It's going to come down. But hey, guys, why are we guessing? Why don't we put on the tool? Right? So it's going to come down 23 point, but we're looking at the 382. When we get to the 23.6, we're going to be thinking about buying it. This could well go to the 200,000. At 20, if it gets to 23, 17,000, that's a good buy. Okay, you don't need $17,000 to buy it. Okay, trading is fractal, so you can buy a tenth of a Bitcoin, you can buy a quarter, you can buy an eighth, you can buy it, right, a micro of a Bitcoin. So you don't have to spend all that money on it. But so what we're looking at right here, this is the trade right now. We've got the engulfing candle, right? Engulfing candle. Now this went a bit above us, okay? Engulfing candle. I mean, we've seen how Bitcoin operates. Here's your risk. If you get in the trade now, you're coming out to the 382, right? I'll show you how to count how much money you would make on that. You get the fib. If you got in here and you traded down to the 382, that's the distance you're trading. Current price, right? Let's just move that over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a sell limit. Okay. Now I said you can get a micro, you can get a standard lot, depending on the size you put in. So we're going to calculate and just do a calculation to figure out your risk. So we're going to look at it at micro. That's the smallest position you can get on here. And then we're going to look at the position. We're going to have the sell limit from 41,000, well, that number here, right? 44,118. 4,111,8, whatever it is. And then we're going to 4,111.8, 8.93, a 4,111,8. Spot 93, right? Selling at the price, and then we're gonna have the take profit, which is down here, 3,061. 3,061. Is that right? 361. 30,000. So whatever the number is. 0.2, right? Okay. So when you do that, it's a sell limit, because if you're planning to sell it, because what we've learned is, right, it's coming down to 382. So the distance between the 382 and where price is currently is the same distance as from there to there, okay? So what we're looking at is, here's your profit. How much are you standing to make? With a micro, you're making 82 bucks, okay? Okay. Now, if you do a standard lot, now how you do that, you click on this. It's going to give you modify. It's going to give you the same dimensions. So you go here, you do pending order, sell limit. It's already got those levels marked in, and you're going to go up to a standard lot, okay? And you're going to place. So successful. Right, okay. Right. Now, when you've placed that, you're going to move it across it a little bit. Okay. That's the, you see, that one there is the micro. So we're going to delete the micro. Now we've got the standard lot. So let's see how much a standard lot will pay us. Let's have a look. Oh, can you see the number there? That's 8,000 bucks. Okay. Your position from there to there with a standard lot will pay you 8,000 bucks. Boom. That's that really is the trade of the moment. However, what's your risk? Now, your risk, you're going to put your stop above here, right, above the high, to current price, right? So your risk is that wide. So we can actually do that, can't we? Stop above there, right, to current price. So you'll be risking on this trade 7,000. If it fails, you lose 7,000. If it wins, you make 8,000. Down to here. I wouldn't stretch it down to here. I just wouldn't, because yeah, it might make you 50. So I'd rather go for, 1 for 1. Right? So now, if you know that the trade can make you 8,000 or 84, you can adjust your position size. This is Forex. You can adjust your position size. So you can say, well, I only want to risk 2,000. Well, mathematically, you'll find the position size, right? The volume, the lot size, and then you just do this. So if this is giving us 8,000, so if I only wanted to risk 2,000, then I'd risk a quarter of the size, wouldn't I? So I'd risk 0.25 lots. Okay, risking 2,000 to make a little over 2,000, 1 for 1. That's a beautiful trade. But what's more beautiful, let me just close this. Wouldn't it be lovely if it just went wick, it wicked up, they sucked me in and just went all the way back? And it'd be brilliant. But anyway, these things don't happen when you're watching, I tell you. So that being the case, here we are now. What we're really looking for is pullback in this area here. Every parabolic move we've seen in the past pulls back to around about here. Sometimes it'll drop down a little nick. We've seen that a couple of times. But you get the pullback, the price drops. Everyone's forgotten about Bitcoin now, right? So this could happen over a year or so. Who knows, right? Now's not the time to buy. We've seen the parabolic moves. I've always pulled back at least to the 50%. The trade we lost on, it pulled back to the 50%, right? So we've always seen it, but typically out of how many trades I just showed you, pulled back to 23.6. So we know we're safe in the middle here, right? So that being said, there's a beautiful trade down, but there's also a beautiful trade back up. I can't even show you on this chart because it's as high as the chart can reveal right now. Just like when it was at this point, the chart wouldn't go much higher, right? It just doesn't. But this, if you put a trend line on it, there's a trajectory. High. It's going to pull back down, probably about to here, 382, probably about to here. And it's going to go higher. Bitcoin goes, this is what it does, goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up. What do you reckon? Down. What next? Up. Right? Up. And when it goes up, it just goes up in one hell of a move. Oh, Lord. I mean, this is just such a beautiful trade. Guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but let me just show you how we're going to trade it right now. I'm going to bring it down to the hour chart. This is what we're looking like today. Let me take off all these, right? This is what we're looking at right now. That's what I'm saying. When you look at it on the weekly chart, right now, we're right in this little bit here. Drop it down to the daily chart. We're in this little bit here. Drop it down to the 4-hour chart. We're in this little bit. Do you see? You can start to see more of a picture, right? Drop it down to the hourly chart. This is our trading chart. Now, you could look and say, ooh, if we get a trend line breakout above, you could say, well, look, we've had the trend line breakout below. How am I going to trade it? What am I thinking here? Well, I'm expecting it to come down to the 23 here. So I'm expecting to come to the 382. I mean, this is just ballistic. I mean, if you take it on a 4-hour chart, it's ballistic, but that's not even the whole thing, is it? The whole thing would be down to that one there, but we're going to be conservative. We're just going to take it there. We're expecting it to come to a 382. Based on our historical analysis, right? 382 is way down here. So therefore, this could be a channel, right? So next price just drops. Boom, right? And this is such a beautiful trade. Okay. So that's the 4-hour. Notice I've considered my expectation, what I think might happen, and then I'm trading based on my thought analysis, okay? If it breaks up above, I'm out the trade. So actually, I'm not gonna put my stop loss all the way up here, right? I'll probably put it above this height because, you know, probably I'm wrong. And at that point, if price went up there, what could be happening is we're getting a head and shoulders, it's broken the neckline, pull back for the shoulder, and it, you know, potentially off to the moon. I would absolutely reconsider. But right now, this line here, I'm good. If it comes up to this, I'm safe. So I would be here. Because remember, we marked this line, we marked is the engulfing candle. So we're below that, right? And that's on the daily chart. And this is right, each week. That's this week, that's last week, and here we are, started this week. So lower high, potentially lower high, right? And then it's coming down. So that might be down to the 50. This is how I would trade it. And so right now, there you go, guys. My trend line breakout strategy. We've just come out there. We've come in, we've zoomed in. We want to minimize our risk. We have an idea as to where it might go, but we want to minimize our risk. We've zoomed in. Now we're only risking a little bit. I mean, if I was to do the risk assessment on this teeny weeny, oh, come on, guys. Why do you make me do this? This is how we can put a big position on in a small area, okay? There you go. So if that's my stop loss up there, there's my risk, 1,300, right? We're gonna take a risk of 1,300, right? So just remember the math, 1,300. Well, well, I said I wouldn't put my stop loss there, actually. No, I'd put it above here. You can put a tease there, but I would put it up there. Just to give it room to breathe. I just would. That's a 3,000. All right, you can do a 1,300 risk because the trend line's broken. But to be safer, because if you know if it goes above this line here, you're in trouble because that's engulfing. Normally it pulls back to the engulf and down. Pull back above it, came down. It could pull back up to it, then come down. Anyway, and then we're going to, well, I'll be happy at 9,000 here. Look, guys, come on. Seriously. to the 50%, it's $9,000. Now, let's do this. Let's say if we was going to the 382 right there. Do you see that? We're $800 from, you see, oh Lord, I can't do it. I can't do two things at once, guys. It's quite unfortunate. I'm holding this here, but if you look over here, if you look over here, I'll tell you where to look because maybe it'll work that way. If you look over here, you're going to see what the cost is, right? When I pull that down, right? You see the number 599,574. That tells you how much it is away from actual price. So up here is 3,000. That's your risk from price, yeah. And then if this here tells you what your profit is going down. So anyway, so at the moment, can you see it over there? We're 3,000 risk. If you drop down here, 1,200 risk, right? And that's going to the 382. You're making the same amount, guys, because the distance we measured the distance, right? But at 382, 9,000. So you only need 1,200 for 9,000. That's a pretty good. 1,300 to make 9,000. 1,300 into 9,000 is 6, 7, however many times, right? That's pretty good. That's like a 6, 7 to 1. Okay. Reason for entering the trade, trend line break. I would feel, we did a trade like this today, guys. I would feel happier if it's below the moving average, because then you got that on your side. Let's see on the hourly chart, is it below the moving average? It is below the moving average on the hourly chart. If it goes below the moving average on the 15-minute chart as well, it's below the moving average on the, let's have a look, on the 30-minute chart. No, guys, seriously? That's the trade right now. We're trading Bitcoin. This is how we do. This is my trend line breakout trade. It broke the trend line there. It came down, pull back. It's breaking the trend line here, right? That's reasoning of itself for an entry. It's below the 200 of the hour, right? It's below the 230. It's not below the 200 of the 4-hour chart. So therefore, we could assume it's trading to it. Would love to see it break that and then the whole thing repeat. Based on history, we've seen these parabolic moves, and we're definitely in a parabolic move right now, typically pulls back to the 382, okay? We did the assessment on the weekly, on the weekly chart. So we understand that it can take time to get down here, but bloody hell, right? So that this could take a few months. This, remember, on a weekly chart, this is a year. So this, whoa, this one came down January 28th. Wow, that was quick. January 28th. And then it's sort of back up and back down and teetered down, right? So this could pop, there's a gap here. So it could pop down here to fill the gap. There's a gap here. It's very often that it fills the gap. So, you know, if we got to the gap, $8,000, not bad. I mean, this is a tangible trade. It's a tangible, and this is conservative because I've not come down to the baseline, which means do you see how the Fibonacci stretches a bit further? So which means there's even more money at play here to the 382. That's $12,000. Right, guys, this is a beautiful trade. I've gone through it. So there's two trades in it. There's the one to come down here to the 382 in that area here. And there's the one where you're going to go from this area to go long. Now that next expected parabolic move, if I'm right in any way, shape, or form, this was the election, 2017. Here, parabolic move at 2013. 4 years. does the American election have anything to do with Bitcoin? I'm just looking at the chart for the first time. I've gone through the whole analysis with you. And what we're seeing, that at the time of the US election, Bitcoin, for some reason, goes parabolic. And then it comes back down. And then it just teeters back and forth. The next election comes. And it goes parabolic at the election time. Trump came into power there around about 2000. Then it teeters back down. This one went far back down. Look at that, right down to here. And that's a gap. Excuse the cough, guys, but I'm just going to trade raw. I'm trading live. It went a little parabolic, but it went humongous, just as it's done in the past, parabolic at the time of election. So that's my thought, and that's my consideration right now, guys. Trump went into office 2016, 17. 4 years he's in office. So if you count back, we're 2021, if you count back 4 years, it'll take you to January 2017. Yeah. Here. Right? And there's a little parabolic move there, not much. At the time, it would have looked like something, no? Yeah, it would have looked like something at the time. And then 2013, Obama would have took office, January. So if Obama was in office 2013, inauguration, a little bump, came back, screamed up in his first year. Trump took office 2017, a little bump, screamed up toward the end of his first year of presidency. But this time is this a little bump? It's going to pull back and then scream up in Joe Biden's first year of presidency. This is what I'm saying to you. The pullback to the 382 is your first trade, but really the trade you're looking at is when it screams up. So could it scream up to a fivefold? This doubled to 42,000. Could it double again to 80? From 40 to 80,000. This is an exciting trade. Something about the US government changing hands affects Bitcoin. From what we've seen, there's a pattern. These patterns, repeat. Anyway, guys, I can't go much longer on this. I'm going to end it here. We've had a long time. Look, I thank you for listening. Please remember to like, subscribe, share the video. Please comment below if you, have any questions, like the content, would like me to look at another video, and so on and so forth. I spent way too much time on this, but this is definitely, it's an exciting trade. I was happy to have shared it with you. Guys, I'm going to see you. I'm going to get off. I'm going to see you on the next recording. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.